Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let's get it going. Let's get it going. God, good Lord. How y'all doing? 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 Make sure y'all hit the likes, man. Make sure y'all hit the likes. Make sure y'all hit the likes. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Let's wait for everybody to get in here today. I know you guys, some of you guys have been waiting for this. We're gonna have a ball in this live today. So, what's good? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let's get everybody in here. We're gonna have a fun live today. 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 So let's see. How y'all doing? Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the likes when you come in. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a lot of fun. Also, say what's good to Marco. Marco is also in here. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to have a lot of fun today. And this is going to be a fun live right before tomorrow, right before Game 7, when the anxiety is going to come back again. So let's just kind of enjoy today. And then tomorrow we'll pick up the anxiety again in Game 7. But for now, let's enjoy this live. So let's wait for everybody to get on in here. Let's give it a few minutes, and then we'll get started. How you guys doing? Welcome in. I see people coming in from all over the place. Costa Rica, Algeria, so many different places. I think, I'm not sure that flag. I can't make out that flag. You're just going to have to probably post the country. Hey, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? Welcome in. Welcome in from the UK. Welcome in. Kawhi the truth, man. Kawhi the truth. Kawhi's the truth. Okay, Georgia. Okay, Georgia. Georgia. Okay. Welcome in. Nigeria, Phil, how you doing? Chicago, what's good? Puerto Rico, what's good? Dominican Republic, welcome in. Make sure you guys hit the likes. Let's give it a few minutes. Let's allow everybody to catch up to this live, and then we're going to have a lot of fun today. I guess Kawhi Leonard's defense is only a reputation, right? I guess it's only reputation, right? Skip. Hey, skip. It's reputation. That sound familiar? That sound familiar to you? It's only reputation. What's good? Poland. Philly, what's good? I'm not sure where that flag is. Jamaica, how you doing? Costa Rica, yeah, we shot it off. Yeah, you finally caught one. Welcome in. Let's give it about 2 more minutes. Make sure you guys get the likes up. Okay, from the United States, how you guys doing? Welcome in. Let's wait for everybody to get on in here, and then we're going to get it going. Let's give it a few minutes. We're going to have fun with this live today. Also, for the people that are in here already, we also got another video coming out on the channel after we go live, like shortly after the live. So you guys don't want to miss out on that video. If you guys want to catch that video, make sure you guys go ahead and be on the lookout for it. It's going to come after this live. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to have a lot of fun. Today. We already got 100 plus people in here. Let's just give it about another minute or two. Let's get about another 2 minutes. Yeah, skip it. Yeah, I know. Well, it's TV. So you got to make it entertaining. You got to have dramatics and all of this stuff. Apparently Mountain Dew, I mean, I haven't had Mountain Dew in years. I never knew Mountain Dew was something that was so important. Like Skip Bayless is out. They're really out there betting buckets of Mountain Dew. I'm surprised Mountain Dew is not one of their sponsors. So that's a pretty big. That's a pretty funny thing. Welcome in, Candace. How you guys doing? Let's give it another minute or so. Let's allow everybody to catch up to this live. People are coming in from different parts of the world, so it would only be fair to allow people to come in. Also, YouTube sometimes, not all the time, sometimes does not send out notifications. So make sure you hit the likes to make sure everybody gets notified. Also, say what up to Marco. Marco's also in here. And we're going to get it going in about 30 or 40 seconds. So let's give everybody a chance to get into this live, and then we're going to get it started. We're going to have a lot of fun with this live today. So let's just give it a few more minutes. Let's get, hey, Tori, how you doing? Let's give it a few more minutes. Let's give it like 30 seconds more, and then we'll go. Let's give it 30 seconds more, and we'll get started. 30 seconds more. Oh, should be a lot of fun. What are Kawhi haters? Man, they around. They around. Some people were posting yesterday on the channel. I think today the show stops or something like that. I didn't even waste my time responding, to be honest with you. I didn't even waste my time. So let's give it 10 more seconds and we'll get going. 10 more seconds, 10 more seconds, and we'll get going. And we shall get it going. Okay, so we've given everybody enough time, ample time to catch up. So for the people that are coming in, again, don't forget to hit the like so more people get notified. So we make this thing, we get a lot of people in here. That's the first thing. Okay, so real quick, guys, before we get started, for those of you, because I know people have been signing up, a lot of people that you see in the comment section are also part of Dreamerspro Max. If you guys want to chat live during these games, make sure you sign up to Dreamerspro Max. Marco is going to post that in the comment section. For the people that are going to miss this live, is also going to be in the description. You can sign up to Dreamerspro Max to chat live during these games, especially Game 7 and moving forward. You can also talk about basketball on there as well. So if you guys want to check that out, sign up to Dreamerspro Max. You're going to get 7 days of access free of charge. So you should be fine. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. Marco's going to post that in the comment section. You don't want to miss out. Yesterday, we were in there going through the roller coaster of emotions. So it was a lot of fun. So again, if you guys want to be a part of the live chat, make sure you guys go ahead and do that. Marco just posted it there, and sign up on time. Don't wait if the game is starting at 9 o'clock. Don't sign up at 8:59 and then have some issues trying to log on, and then all of a sudden you start freaking out. So I'm just telling you guys ahead of, just do it ahead of time so you don't get disappointed later on. Okay. So let's get into this live. Okay. Let's turn up the energy. Let's turn up. I have to keep it a little calm before we started because, you got to usher people in. But now let's get it going. Okay. Let's talk about what we witnessed last night. First of all, Rick Carlisle said they will have to throw the kitchen sink at Kawhi. Oh, wait. Thank you for that. Let me get into this. Thank you for that. First of all, what a game. What a game that was yesterday. Let me tell you something, guys. For the people that were on Dreamerspro Max, it was like an emotional roller coaster watching the Clippers play that game. It was an emotional roller coaster. Like every high and low, I went through it watching that game. And as I said yesterday in the live yesterday, in the preview to Game 6, at the end of that live, I said I had no idea who would win. I really didn't know. It was a Game 7, so to speak, for the Clippers. So in a scenario like that, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Now, at the end of that live, I said I picked the Clippers with my heart. But logically, I wasn't sure what adjustments Ty Lue and the coaching staff were going to make going into Game 6 to get that win. Because after they had gone small, I felt like I thought that was going to decide the series. Then Dallas decided to go big in Game 5 through a zone, and it completely messed up the Clippers in Game 5. So I said to myself, I want them to win, but I just didn't see how it was going to happen. But nevertheless, I still picked them on just faith. That's what I said yesterday. For those of you guys that were part of that live yesterday, you remember me saying that. I just picked them off of faith. So watching that game, it was an emotional roller coaster. But before I get into the game itself, I got something I got to get off my chest. I just want to say before we start, LeBron James, take notes. I just want to say, LeBron James, take notes. This is how you go down swinging. This is how you leave it all on the floor. In an elimination game, this is how you do it. You cannot be the GOAT and have people after an elimination game questioning whether or not you were aggressive enough. I'm sorry. You can't be considered the GOAT and you don't go down swinging. You can't be considered a GOAT in an elimination game. You're the best player on the floor. You're the best player on your team. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to make the right play. I'm going to make the basketball play. I'm going to try to get everybody involved. You got to go down swinging. Kobe's last game in the playoffs against the Oklahoma City Thunder, he dropped 42 points. That was Kobe's last game in the playoffs. 42. He knew they were going to lose. They were down 3-2. He went out there. He dropped 42. He gave it his best shot. They ended up losing, but he left it all out there on the floor. After watching that game, I said to myself, LeBron James, take notes. This is how you go down swinging. Some people talking about LeBron the GOAT. Y'all bugging. LeBron is one of the greatest players of all time. You can't be the GOAT and people are still talking about your mental approach to a sport you've been playing for 17 years. I don't get that. Jordan would have, and Steven Jackson said it yesterday. Oh, well, you can't expect LeBron to be Michael Jordan. Listen, you got to go down swinging. Kawhi Leonard delivered a game for the ages. The series is not over. But that game he delivered in that elimination game is a blueprint of how you go down swinging in an elimination game. At the end of that game, if the Clippers lost, nobody would have pointed at Kawhi. The only person that would have pointed at Kawhi Leonard is Stephen A. Smith. He's the only one. Stephen A. Smith is the only one that says this stuff. If the Clippers had lost that game, Kawhi Leonard dropped 45, tying a playoff career high. Stephen A. Smith would have came out on TV. Oh, it's Kawhi Leonard's fault. He didn't do blah, blah, blah. You had the key dangling and all of these different things. Let that have been LeBron. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. Do y'all realize that the defending champs just got knocked out of the playoffs in the first round, and it was like as if nothing happened? Yeah, they talked about it for a few segments, and it's like, okay, on to the next one. Like as if it never happened. Let that have been Kawhi Leonard. Stephen A. Smith would have stood on top of the table and said, oh, Kawhi Leonard is a fraud. And hold up. Nick Wright, who I don't even know why they call him Nick Wright. He always picks wrong. First of all, he said the Lakers would win game 5, they lost. He said they would win game 6, they lost. He said the Clippers would win game 6, he was wrong. What's going on? So I just want to say before we even get started, LeBron James fans, take notes from Kawhi Leonard. This is how you do it. This is how you do it. Kawhi Leonard showed you exactly what you got to do in an elimination game. Not go out there and try to make the best plays and try to make the right play. You got to go out swinging, and that's what Kawhi Leonard did. So anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest. Just to let y'all know, Kawhi Leonard is on a different level, folks. I mean, I believe in him, but I had no idea he had that coming. But for the LeBron guys, don't ever fix your mouth to say he the GOAT. That's not how GOATs go out. That is not how GOATs go out. You don't go out like that and you talking about you the GOAT. That's not how you go out. Kawhi Leonard just showed you. Let me get back into this notes here. So anyway, let's talk about this game. As I said, I was filled with emotions yesterday watching that game. And going into that game, I wasn't sure if the Clippers had the mental discipline to pull a game like that out. Remember, they were in a similar situation in game 3 when they got down 19 points in the first quarter. So I was watching that game and I'm like, okay, they came out of that game. They won that game in a very hostile environment. There's no way they're going to do it again in the same series. It's really tough emotionally to really kind of fight through that type of adversity. I said, there's no way. There's no way they'll be able to do it. I was just like, it's too much for them. And early on, they were playing into the Dallas Mavericks' hands. We were talking about this on Dreamerspro Max. I was saying, I didn't like the fact that Reggie Jackson was shooting so much because Draymond Green made a very good point on TNT. He said, if you're the Dallas Mavericks, You want Reggie Jackson shooting all those shots. You don't want Kawhi Leonard. You don't want Paul George being the one taking all of those shots because those guys can't beat you. If you want, they would rather have Reggie Jackson beat them than Kawhi Leonard or Paul George, which was a very good point. Something I didn't thought about. I never thought about. One of the reasons why Draymond Green is in the NBA and I'm not in the NBA. And I was like, that's an interesting strategy. So I think early on in the game, Reggie Jackson was the leading shot taker for the Clippers. Now, to his credit, he was making his shots. I think Reggie Jackson started the game. If I'm not mistaken, I had all of the windows open here just a moment ago. If I'm not mistaken, let me just pull out the stats here. If I'm not mistaken, I think Reggie Jackson in that first quarter, just give me a second. I got the data here. In the first quarter, Reggie Jackson was 6 of 8 in the first quarter. So pretty much he made almost all the shots that he took. But what was even more alarming was that he took more shots than Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris Sr., and Nicholas Batum combined. Because Kawhi had only attempted 3, Marcus Morris Sr. only attempted 3, and Nicholas Batum had attempted 1. So he was taking the majority of the shots, and I was just saying to myself, and I was saying this on Dreamerspro Max, thank you for that. Kawhi locked it. Yeah, yes, definitely. He played a great game. So proud of Kawhi, yes. So I was saying to myself, he is definitely playing into the hands of the Mavs, and I was afraid that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George would not have a rhythm later on in the game. This was one of my biggest fears. But kudos to him for making those shots. But the biggest difference in that game, if we're going to talk strategically and schematically, the greatest difference in that game, the biggest adjustment that the Clippers made was this. They made one major adjustment on the defensive end as far as what I was able to see watching that game. From what I was able to see, maybe you guys saw this, we'll see something else. The Clippers did something unique. When Luka called for the pick, when they were switching, they would switch, but they would show hard on the switch, almost kind of like a semi-double team. And the reason they did that was they wanted to get the primary defender back on Luka, so he couldn't really search for Reggie like that. That's the reason why Kawhi Leonard or Paul George or even Marcus Morris Sr. were able to get back on Luka and play him man-to-man. They did that usually when he was looking for Reggie or looking for one of the smaller guards. So the Clippers were showing a lot harder on those pick and rolls and allowing their primary defender to get back in front of Luka. In some cases, they will double team him, but usually they will double team him when he was at the top of the key and really outside, really far outside near the half court, towards half court. Why? Because I think what they wanted to do was force Luka into a long jump shot, like a long contested 3, or get him to use a lot of the clock, just trying to get to his spot, and then force him into a tough contested shot. This was the fundamental difference that they made, because remember, the Clippers decided to start the game small, which was something that I loved. However, I was just saying to myself, okay, given the fact that they did go small in the last game, the Mavs countered by starting Boban. I was just like, so what are they going to do? What's going to be the difference here? And I think that was one of the first differences that they made, and they allowed their primary defender to stay on Luka Doncic, which was either Marcus Morris Sr., Kawhi Leonard, who I'm going to get to a little bit later. Trust me. I'm going to get to Kawhi Leonard, trust me, or Paul George. This is what I noticed. It was like a soft trap. And I think they did a good job keeping Luka out in the perimeter. He had to take a lot of tough shots, and he had to make a lot of cross-court kind of passes, these long passes that would lead to deflections and steals. Those are one of the things that I noticed. Another thing I noticed was that they did start Boban, as I just said. However, I think the Clippers were banking on one thing. Boban is 7'3". Is it 7'3"? Yes, Boban is 7'3". But I think the Clippers said, you know what? We know that they're going to play Boban, but I think the Clippers had a strategy to deal with Boban. I think what they decided to do was they said that they don't believe. This is what I think. This is just my kind of what I was able to. This is just my hypothesis. I think the Clippers said to themselves, there's no way that Boban at that size is going to have the endurance to play 35 to 40 minutes. That's the reason why in the first half, Boban only played 10 minutes in the first half. He didn't have the endurance. So eventually, Rick Carlisle had to take him off the court, where he was no longer a threat anymore. Meaning to get those rebounds, they would lob it up to him. You saw it looked like he was playing volleyball. It was actually hilarious. It was like he was playing beach ball or something like this when they were trying to thank you for that 7-4, when they were trying to get a hold of those rebounds, especially those offensive rebounds. So I think they knew that Boban was going to get tired, which would ultimately force the Mavs to go back to playing small, which was something that I think the Clippers decided, listen, we're going to beat this team by going small. Boban is not going to turn into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's not going to start making the sky hook and all of these different things. So I think it was a gamble that the coaching staff of the Clippers made that paid off. This is just my own analysis. Obviously, I could be wrong. You know, I'm just giving you my take on this. But the Clippers going to halftime, and they're down 3 points, and I kind of felt good about myself. I said, okay, listen, the Mavs they don't have like a 10-point lead. And I was saying yesterday in the live, I said my biggest fear was I wouldn't want the Mavs to get too wide of a gap as far as the lead, go out there, and then all of a sudden just blow up the game, and then they end up like going up by 10, 15 points. And I think it could, then I thought if something like that happened, then it could get ugly, which was something that I was afraid of. So I said, okay, they're only down 3. So I was happy about that. We forced Mavs to stop playing zone. Yes, well, they attacked the zone. Thanks for that. From watching Game 6, do you think PG should change from shooting threes and just focus on mid-range and defense? Maybe all of them should, because he was telling something for. Well, I think Paul George has to give him different looks. To answer your question, I think Paul George has to give him different looks, to be honest with you. I don't think he should be too much of anything. He can't just be exclusively a driver, because when you're, I think the reason is this. From what I learned from Kobe, not like as if I met Kobe, but watching Kobe Bryant's videos when he teaches basketball, Kobe Bryant said you have to be and when you get into the triple threat position, basketball players that probably watch his channel, that are probably watching this live, they'll tell you that in order for you to be a dynamic scorer, you have to be able to make your jump shots, your pull-up jump shot. He said, because if you can make your pull-up jump shot, that's going to give you the drive. Because he said you're going to put the defender into a difficult position. Because if they know you're going to make your jump shot, then they're going to try to get a little bit closer on you, which allows you to get by them. If Paul George, all he did was just drive the basketball, number one, he could risk not having the rhythm from the perimeter. Number two, you need to hit shots from the perimeter, because remember, the Clippers need spacing. As Ty Lue said at the end of the game when they asked him, why did they bring in Luke Kennard? He said, we brought in Luke Kennard to just add additional spacing. So Paul George has to mix it up. However, to kind of address your question, I think the majority of his shots need to come at going at the basket, because they need to put pressure on the Dallas Mavericks defense, get them into foul trouble all the time. This is what I think. But I don't think he helps his team if all he's doing is driving, knowing that he can also space the floor with his jump shot. And you saw in the second half, he was able to get a little bit closer to the basket. He was not settling for long threes, but he was hitting his mid-range, which he's very capable of doing. So the Clippers going to halftime and they're down 3. But they could not, they're going to halftime, but they were down 3. PG had an off night shooting. They will fall next game. Okay, probably so. But he did a lot of other good things. He got some good rebounds. Paul George played a great all-around game. So it's not just about scoring, it's about playing defense, making plays. Paul George had a great all-around game. We're not just going to look at just points. Like, he did a lot of good things out there for his team, to be fair to him. Anyway, so they go into the second half, and this is when it gets fun. I'm about to get to Kawhi because we're going into the third quarter. They go into the second half. The Clippers, I think, got a lead at one point, but they just couldn't hold on to the lead. They would go up like 2 or 3, and they just couldn't get to 5 or 7. I was just like, this is so frustrating. They would get to the door, and they just refused to walk through the door. I'm like, come on, you got to be kidding me. And it was so frustrating watching the game. It was so frustrating, and it became a back and forth game in that third quarter. And I was just saying to myself, man, I don't know what's going to happen here. It looked like a toss up. And I was like, these guys' season could end tonight. And I'm like, what a disappointing way to go out in the first round. But then something started to happen. What started to happen in that third quarter? There's a dude, right, called Kawhi Leonard. The dude that Shannon Sharp said, oh, Kawhi, he's just on reputation. The dude that Stephen A. Smith was making fun of, the key dangling, all of the different stuff, right? That dude. What happened with Kawhi Leonard in the third quarter? Kawhi Leonard started to get cooking. When I break down Kawhi Leonard's performance, you guys are going to see just how much of a tour de force he put forward in that second half. Bear in mind, Kawhi only scored 2 points in the first quarter and finished the game with 45. Keep that number in mind. Kawhi Leonard starts to get going. He starts to get into a rhythm, and what happens? He starts making shots. Kawhi in the third quarter, let me pull up his stats for you guys. In the third quarter, Kawhi Leonard goes 6 of 9. Okay, he hit 6 out of his 9 shots, making basically 67% of his shots. He goes 2 of 4 from the 3, knocks down 2 big threes. He goes 100% from the free throw line and scores 17 points in the third quarter. 17 points in the third quarter. And as I was watching him do that, I said to myself, I said, what is happening here? But then he wasn't finished. He then goes into the fourth quarter when the game is still in the balance, by the way. The game is still in the balance. It's not like as if, they were up by like 10 or something. It was still a close game. Still a close game. And what happens? Kawhi Leonard goes into the fourth quarter and he goes 5 of 5 from the floor. He hits 2 3-pointers and scores another 12 points at the end of the game under the 2-minute mark in front of Luka Doncic's face. And at the same time, he was locking up Luka Doncic. Ladies and gentlemen, if that is not the best two-way play, if that performance was not the definition of being the best two-way player in the world, I don't know what is. Luka Doncic went into game 6 averaging 35 points per game. When he was guarded by Kawhi Leonard, Luka scored, I think he made about 34% of his shots or something like that. He couldn't score on Kawhi. But the difference is Luka couldn't score on him, but Kawhi could score on Luka. And Luka was like, I can't do nothing with this dude. At the end of the game, think about it. Luka Doncic, as good of a player as he is, he goes, Kawhi Leonard totally destroyed us. He was like, this dude totally destroyed. I was in awe. At one point, I wrote in Dreamerspro Max, I said, this is like Toronto Kawhi Leonard. This reminded me of 2019 Toronto Raptors. I was like, what am I even witnessing right now? I couldn't believe it. I was like, this cannot be happening. This dude cannot be playing this good right now. And then towards the last minute and a half, when the game was still in the balance, he hit the 2-step back 3-pointers, hit those dagger shots. In that type of game, what was on the line? Think about it. Your season is coming to a close. If you don't perform, you're going home. And this guy went out there and dropped 45 points in an elimination game where everybody, the whole NBA world was looking at the Clippers. Guys, there was no other basketball game taking place last night. There was no other games. That was the only game that was on. Somebody made a comment the other day. They said, what did they say? They said, look, I think, I forgot where I read it. They said LeBron James was laughing at the Clippers when they lost in game 5. Let me say this real quick. Laker fans, I know y'all been waiting at the airport. Y'all keep telling the plane. Y'all told the captain y'all were gonna be taking off last night, and they should make some space in the back of the plane for the Clippers because the Clippers are going to be joining you on your way to Cancun. And I know y'all was sitting at the airport waiting for the Clippers to join you. And I know, was it Bradley Dudley or whatever his name is, Jared Dudley or whatever it is. I'm sure you guys are like, man, are they going to get here? Lakers, just get on that plane and start making your way to Cancun. I know misery loves company, but just get on the plane. I see dudes coming in the comment section. This is going to be your last night. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. But I'm like, bro, just get on the plane. Why are you worried about the Clippers? Y'all supposed to be picking out your hotel. You should be going through your vacation itinerary. Are you going to be scuba diving? Are you guys going to be kayaking? Are you going to be going to any theme parks? You should be planning all of this. I'm sure Jared Dudley, he probably makes a good itinerary. He's probably texting the guys, hey, man, we're going to go snorkeling on Saturday. You got LeBron. Hey, LeBron, man, I know you're going to get a lot of us traded, but before you trade us, please, can you at least just hang out with us? We want to play some beach ball on Sunday in Cancun. They said it's going to be really sunny outside. I know the Clippers, they were supposed to make it on the flight. Unfortunately, they couldn't. Just get on the plane. Why are you worried about the Clippers? You don't like the Clippers. Just get on your plane and go on vacation. How many months y'all got off? Y'all got what? The season started in October. Y'all should be happy. Y'all gonna have like what, 4 months off. And then when you get bored after having a nice day, turn on the TV and then go watch Game 7. It's Sunday. Watch the Clippers on TV. Stop worrying about the Clippers. Like, come on. Like, this is going to be your last night. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Meet you at the airport. See you in baggage claim. See you in customs. It's like, come on. I just had to throw that out there because these were the comments that I was reading yesterday. I was sitting here minding my business. I wasn't going on Clipper fans, Laker videos, texting 1, 2, 3, Cancun. I don't care. I'm not that bored. But I'll see you tonight. See you on the plane. Come on. So anyway, I had to throw that out there. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Let me tell you something, guys. That performance that Kawhi Leonard put forward, if I had to go through the NBA and think of another player that could deliver under that type of pressure, the only other person I can think of is Kevin Durant. I think KD is the only guy. If I got to think, I mean, who else would it be? Because you think of Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard has put forward some amazing performances, but usually it's resulted in losses. Even the last double nickel game he dropped, I think it was in Game 6 against the what's the team? Against the Denver. I think they lost that game or something like that. Damian Lillard has lost more than he's won. Like, I've never seen Damian Lillard have such huge performances and lead a team to an NBA Finals and then win it all. I've seen Kawhi do that. I've seen KD kind of put a team on his back and carry them. Now, some people may say, well, he was with the Golden State. Well, yeah, but still, when he was with the Golden State Warriors, he was the best player on the court. At least for the Golden State Warriors, let's just be honest. He was the best player. So I think KD is the only one that can go out there and put a performance like that. But for me, this was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. Just a moment. I think somebody had a question. Tori, do you think he could guard Luka with his energy on such a short turnaround? That's a very good question. Thank you for that question. First of all, I think given the fact that it's such a short turnaround, I think everybody's going to be tired. I think they're going to be physically tired. I think they're going to be emotionally exhausted. I think going into that game, I think the Clippers are going to have the same game plan. I think it's just going to be a hard-fought game. As I said yesterday, I'm still addressing Tori's question. As I said yesterday, I expected Kawhi to play at least 40 minutes in that game. He ended up playing 42. I think you're going to have to expect another performance from him like that. Now, whether or not he can or can't remains to be seen. Do I think he will? There's a good possibility he will. But let me say this. If Paul George gets going and takes a lot of kind of the offensive burden off of Kawhi Leonard, then I think Kawhi Leonard will have a little bit more energy to kind of play with Luka on the defensive side of the floor. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong. But I think if he has his teammates making shots, then he's going to be able to expend more energy on the defensive side of on the defensive side of the ball. This is just my opinion. Now, I don't know exactly what game plan they're going to use, but I think the Clippers are going to probably run the same game plan and make Kawhi Leonard the primary defender, trap a little bit harder, and then make sure they can get Kawhi back on Luka. Because to be honest with you, in that second half, Luka didn't have such a great second half because Kawhi Leonard, I mean, listen, you have one of the greatest defensive players on the perimeter, two-time defensive player. You're going to have difficulty scoring against him. This is what I was saying about Shannon Sharpe. These guys look at, it's like you look at everybody else, and everybody else is like a figment of your imagination. It's only the Lakers and what LeBron can do. You discount what everybody else can do and only count what you could do. After game 7, next game, 3 days later, Jazz will be rested. Well, yeah, I'm not even thinking that far ahead to the Jazz. Tomorrow's going to be a big night, and I still don't know who's going to win. But anyway, I hope that answers your question. One final thing I want to say. No, I have a few more things I want to say. I want to put Kawhi Leonard's performance into context, guys. Just to kind of put this into context. The guy scored 45 points on 25 shots. Do y'all know he made 18 shots? Do y'all know, if you go back and look at the box score, do you know Kawhi Leonard alone totaled the amount of field goals for the rest of his team? Kawhi Leonard made 18 shots. The rest of the Clippers as a team made 18 shots. He made half of the shots of the team. That's how efficient he was. You're going to be hard-pressed to find another player in the NBA that will give you that type of efficiency under those circumstances. It's not easy to do. If it was easy to do, everybody would be doing it. I think it was one of his best games I've ever seen. Not his greatest, because that game he played in Philly versus when it was with the Raptors versus, I think he scored 40 in that game too. But that was a game 7 do or die game. So it was one of his best performances, but not his greatest. But I think this is a breakthrough because I haven't seen Kawhi Leonard play that well since he was with the Toronto Raptors. So I think it was a good thing. Final thing I want to say quickly about the coaching staff. I want to give Ty Lue and his coaching staff credit for making an adjustment to the Dallas Mavericks because let's just be honest, the Clippers defense really, really helped them win that game. They did a great job on the defensive side of the floor. And yes, the players did well, but the coaching staff also had to go out there and implement a game plan, and they worked it to perfection. They really did. They played a great defensive game. If I look at the Dallas Mavericks as a team, they scored 97 points. They held them under 100. That's impressive. Okay, they made it a low-scoring game in today's NBA. But the Dallas Mavericks, they shot 41.6% from the field. 41. And the Clippers shot 47%. The Clippers did a good job on the defensive side of the floor. Going into that game, I said I hope the Clippers would make 23s. They only ended up making 10, but their defense showed up. For them. The Dallas Mavericks made 11 threes. They shot 32% from the three. Clippers shot 39, but the Clippers did a good job kind of holding them, playing them really well on the defensive side. The Clippers beat the Mavs at the free throw line. The Mavs attempted 14 free throws, and the Clippers attempted 28. This is one of the reasons that Ty Lue keeps telling the Clippers keep attacking the basket because the Dallas Mavericks don't really have a very good shot blocker at the rim. So from a game plan perspective, it's a good strategy. Keep attacking them. They don't have a shot blocker. Now, if they somehow manage to advance in game 7, then you go play the Utah Jazz, who have the best rim protector in Rudy Gobert, and maybe they'll come up with a different game plan. But to be quite honest with you, I don't even want to think about that because this series is not even over yet. It's not even over yet. But for right now, what I can say is their defense helped them win that game, and it was a great game. whose minutes should decrease, and if you had a choice, which bench player would you give more? It's so tough to say. They've used so many different lineups. I think it's going to come down to the situation at hand. To be quite honest with you, I really don't know. Like if I had the answer for that, I would probably be doing something else right now. I don't know. Let me see. 57 and 7. That will be Luka's stat line tomorrow. Well, we got to see. He hasn't scored 50 yet. The only player I think that scored, there's been 2 players in the playoffs that have scored 50. That was Jason Tatum against a very bad defensive team in the Brooklyn Nets. And I think Damian Lillard did it, but it took him 2 overtimes to do it. So if Luka's going to do that and get 50, I don't think he's going to get 7 assists. No way. He may get 50 and like 5 assists. He's not going to get 50 and like 14 assists. I doubt that happening because the Clippers are just going to trap him. And let me just say this: Kawhi Leonard is a good defensive player. Let's not like overlook that fact. When you got Kawhi Leonard guarding you, it's going to be tougher than having Reggie Jackson or Ivica Zubac in front of you. It makes a difference. Whether or not Kawhi will have the energy to play that type of defense again remains to be seen. If Paul George is going to contribute, get you 25, 30 points, it's definitely going to help him to kind of focus more on the defensive side of the floor. But it remains to be seen. But in my opinion, guys, this was an amazing game. Now, we're still trying to consider whether or not we're going to do a preview tomorrow before Game 7. Marco and I have to kind of decide on that. However, if you guys want a live chat for Game 7, for the people that are in here, I think we have about 700 people in here. For the people that are in here that don't know but want to be a part of the live chat, you can sign up to Dreamerspro Max as an online sports community. We can talk about basketball and chat live during games. Marco's going to post that in the comment section there so you guys can see that you can sign up for 7 days, get 7 days of access. So you guys can definitely live chat with us. He's going to post that there. And it's also going to be in the description below. A lot of these people are in there already. A lot of our viewers are already in there as well. So if you want a live chat, we're going to be there tomorrow live. We haven't decided yet whether or not if we're going to do a preview to Game 7 or we're going to cover the game after the game. It all depends. We'll decide tomorrow. But what a game. What a game. And as I said before I close, I'll start off the same way I closed. Okay, there's the link. Marco just posted it. I'll just say this, man. LeBron James, take notes. That's how you close out a game. That's how you fight for your playoff life. Stop trying to make the best play. Go down swinging. Leave no stone unturned. And I think Kawhi Leonard just left the blueprint on how to fight back and keep your playoff hopes alive. We shall see who wins tomorrow. But once again, guys, thank you guys for being a part of this live. I had a lot of fun with you guys. We'll definitely catch you guys tomorrow. And real quick, and also be on the lookout for the video that we have coming up after this live. Be on the lookout for this video. You guys are going to really enjoy it, so be on the lookout for that. Once again, thank you guys so much. How did this become about LeBron? No, I'm not stopping anything. Nope, sorry, no, I'm not stopping anything. If I want to talk about LeBron James, I'm going to talk about LeBron James. This is our platform. If you don't enjoy it, they're like 100. No, literally, they're like over close to 2 million YouTube channels. Pick that one where they can talk about what you want them to talk about. This is our platform. As long as I'm not being disrespectful, I have every right to talk about it. This is basketball. We're a sports channel. Just that simple. If you're in your feelings about it, you know what to do. Hit the unsubscribe or go to another channel. It's a free world. Nobody's forcing you to watch. Thank you guys again. We really appreciate that. And we'll definitely catch you guys on the next episode. And take it easy. Catch you guys later. Peace.